My chair seems very squeaky. I hope this isn't going to be a distraction. Hello, Goose. It's me, your squid. Hopefully you can hear me over my blaring AC and my fans that are going in the background, but you know, with an apartment that only has a wall unit for air conditioning, we gotta do what we can do to keep this girl cool. But anyway, I'm super excited to be doing this with you and to be sharing our postcards with one another. I think it's going to be a great way for us to keep in touch and, you know, just talk about whatever various things are on our mind. One of the things that was kind of going through my mind, thinking of topics, I was like, do I want to, you know, take a more serious route with this? Do I want to be a little bit more like laid back and funny? Because I, you know, that's kind of my style. And I decided that it would be kind of good to do a mix of the two. So here I am introducing The Care and Keeping of You, Monstera. So I think most of us millennials out there have heard about the book, The Care and Keeping of You. It was one of those American Girl books, pivotal and fundamental in, you know, growing up in the 90s and the 2000s. So I was kind of thinking of that as like the overall theme, you know, of today's message. And so recently I, you know, got this Monstera right here behind me. His name is Maurice. And when I first got Maurice, I was kind of terrified because historically speaking, I pretty much kill every plant that I own, which is why I have a lot of fake plants around my apartment. So of course I did a lot of research into how to take care of this Monstera, what I needed to do, and I'm going to share some of that here with you today. And of course, if you have any tips on how to keep this brother alive, please let me know, because your girl's a little nervous. So without further ado, here are some tips that I got from the internet on taking care of this Monstera here. Number one, this is just a fun fact, not really how to take care of it. Monsteras are known as the Swiss cheese plant because they are a little holy. So they have they have in the lobes here, you know, kind of big cutout lobes, and then they also have, you know, little holes in them too, which makes it a little like Swiss cheesy. So that's just kind of a fun fact. Number two, the Monsteras grow best in humid and warm environments. Luckily for me, my apartment gets pretty toasty in the winter and in the summer. I only have a wall AC unit, as I mentioned earlier, so this apartment stays pretty warm unless I have that thing going at all times. Speaking of humidity, it's Ohio. It gets pretty humid here, so I don't really have a lot of concerns about this guy. I do have a humidifier just in case it gets a little dry in here. So that will be pretty easy to monitor, I think. I'm hoping. We'll find out. Number three, Monsteras really like partial sunlight. That direct sunlight, even though they're a tropical plant, is a little bit harsh on them. So dappled partial sunlight is really best. My apartment, I face east, so I get some sun in the morning, but not really a lot of direct sunlight during the day. So I think that this environment will be good for good old Maurice back here when it comes to that. Number four is all about the soil. So acidic, neutral, peat-based soil. I have no idea what peat means, so if anyone wants to let me know, let me know. Thanks. So I got some soil from Home Depot. It said it was good for home plants, and this is a home plant, and it doesn't attract gnats, so that's good. I'll take it, whatever. Number five is that the temperature range needs to be between 65 and 85 degrees. Again, I'm not concerned about that in my apartment at all. Number six is all about the water. So when I first got Maurice back here, he was in a big vase, his roots were in water. So I had to transfer him into a pot with soil and everything and just basically soak the soil until it was drenched. And then you're supposed to let the soil dry out about 1 to 2 weeks, and you're gonna want to re-water the plant and make sure that it stays hydrated and whatnot. So that's honestly my biggest fear. is because I have a terrible memory and I forget about my plants and I forget to water them. But I think good old Maurice back here is pretty big enough. Like, he's not going to be out of sight, out of mind, like all my other little plants that have died. So it should be good there. And final thing is that another not so fun fact is that monsteras are actually toxic to humans, cats, and dogs. So if you have any of those animals, I guess including a human, just make sure that they don't ingest the monstera. That would be bad, very bad. So in doing all this research on how to take care of monstera, you know, I was kind of thinking, like, I'm really bad at taking care of myself also. And, you know, if I'm doing all this research and putting all this time into keeping this plant alive, then, you know, I really need to do the same for myself. Like, we all need to do the same for ourselves. And I think a lot of that kind of just goes back to the simple things, you know, making sure that we're going outside, getting sunlight. You know, as hard as it is for me to do some days, like, most of the time when I go outside, I feel a little bit better, unless it's like stupid hot, like it has been the past few days. But you know, that we're not talking about that right now. Staying hydrated, drinking your water, whether that's still or sparkling or flavored, you know, whatever you like. You know, it's just good to stay hydrated. And you know, whatever you need to do for yourself to, you know, be good, I guess. I don't really know how else to put it. That looks different for every person, and I don't, you know, want to sit here and say what you should be doing for yourself, because frankly, I don't know what I should be doing for myself half the time, so who am I to say? But you know, I really urge you to find what makes you happy, and you know, whether it's, you know, something really simple like, you know, drinking a cup of water, or just like seeing the sun, or being in nature, or, you know, listening to rug washing videos, which I'll probably do a video about that at some point. You know, the little things can sometimes make a difference, and I think that's really important to remember. I think I've rambled on for long enough. I've talked about, you know, my monstera here. Again, if you have any tips, battery's dying. If you have any tips, please let me know so I can keep this thing alive. I'll keep you updated too. I have faith in this one, and also have a little bit more faith in taking care of myself too. It's a journey for sure. We will catch up here soon. Love ya. From your squid.